Well, speaking about Webbot said a little while back, remember I told you the other day when I did a video on the suicided person jumped out the window, financial related, whatever, managed $4.6 billion, largest, whatever. Webbot report, get ready to hear that stuff again. And Cliff High said, remember the banker suicide stuff that was happening? It's going to start happening again, same type of thing. And if you don't recall, this was several years ago, maybe a few years ago might be better, as in like 3 years ago, maybe 4, just a rash of people at big banks, people you didn't really hear of, but you heard of it when they died. This one worked for JP Morgan, this one worked for HSBC, this one worked, just everywhere, somehow got to a locked door on the roof, no one had the key to, somehow he did, and jumped off. Another one, jumps out the window, killed in a biking accident. This one jumped off a cliff on accident. I lost count after it was in the high 20s. Okay? I think it was in the high 20s when I lost count. I said, okay, that's definitely a Webbot hit. So no sooner than I just did my video the other day, I got another one for you. This one tied to the Clintons. Yet a law firm. Anyway, let me start with this. Ex-Dewey partner, Covington Counsel, dies in high-rise fall. Kenneth Freeling, a former Dewey and LeBoeuf partner who became of counsel at Covington and Burling, that company, in Washington, D.C., died Thursday in New York. He was 59. Well, it wasn't a high-rise fall. Suicide, or should I say suicided. And someone posted a link about an old news story from October 2008. Dewey and LeBoeuf will open 2 new offices in the Middle East and have 2 partners relocate to South Africa. The firm will open its offices in early 2009 in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, and Doha, Qatar. In April, according to an article in Legal Week, a sibling incisive media publication, the firm closed its doors for business in Hartford, Connecticut, Jacksonville, Florida, and Austin, Texas. Legal Week reported that the U.S. office closings were part of Dewey's efforts to focus on major commercial and financial centers around the world. So here we go. Remember what financial key. Kenneth Freeling, a partner who focuses on antitrust and intellectual property litigation, will leave the firm's Washington office to relocate to Qatar. So I guess he was back in town. Don't know for how long, or if he moved back, but he done been suicided. And that is the famous law firm tied to the Clintons. So I wanted to just share that with you. Okay, just want to share that with you. And a couple of 2 or 3 other small stories that I feel like I don't want to do, 3 videos that are really, really short. I'll just put them all in this one video. So that was that one I just showed you. I've got a Fox News clip. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer, we are talking about the potential of indictments of a former sitting president and his staff. Okay, talking about the Watergate thing. Now Trump says Obama wiretapped my phones. Had my phones wiretapped right before the election in October or whatever. And that was his charge. So now we have Fox News. Actually, I'm going to play this little clip. Hang on.
You need a web.
Let me get past this
Why not do it yourself?
commercial. Excuse me. Skip. Fox News.
Concerned on the flip side that the Obama administration may have been surveilling members of the Trump campaign in a pretty detailed investigation during the election.
Well, I don't think that's the case.
But there's a report that June 2016, there's a FISA request by the Obama administration, Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, to monitor communications involving Donald Trump and several other campaign officials. Then they get turned down, and then in October they renew it, and they do start a wiretap at Trump Tower with some computer and Russian banks, and it doesn't show up anything by reporting. Have you heard that?
Well, again, and like I said.
Anyways, I wanted to share a little piece with you. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer, we are talking about the potential of indictments of a former sitting president and his staff. Do you know, I would try and do a backflip standing in this carpet with my busted ass foot, break my neck, if I heard breaking news, former President Obama, Barack Obama, to be charged, indicted with such and such. I would be screaming. I would give you a warning in advance. Ladies and gentlemen, plug your flippin' ears. Because I'm about to scream so loud with joy, it's going to blow your eardrums out. It may blow the computer speakers or headphones you have on right now. And I'll even give you a countdown like, 3, 2, 1. And you would hear the most horrendous scream, like battle cry you ever heard, thinking someone was dying, or just got, like a wounded deer going, being destroyed by a Komodo dragon or something, screaming for, rescue, and he never gets rescued, he gets eaten instead. That's the kind of sound I would make. I mean, this is incredible. This is a fact. This isn't hearsay. This is a fact. The FISA court did get that and said, no, we're turning that one down. They went around it somehow, and what I read, at least online, not that video, they went down systematically. Oh, we found this review judge panel who was all like Clinton appointees or something like that. Oh, and they let it go. So we got the okay. To wiretap a person who is running for president, who's got the pick of his party, whether it was Democrat or Republican, you have two choices. Again, so-called voting rights. You have two choices, left or right. And they chose, we did, the right, Donald Trump. And to find out that a standing president had their phones wiretapped, you don't think they wanted to catch some inside information that they could then leak to the Hillary camp, do you? No, not at all. I cannot be. I would have, if you would have asked me, what are the chances of something like that happening? Like if you would have emailed me, or Joe, what do you think the chances are that Obama wiretapped Donald Trump? I would say, they have to go through hoops, and I mean, he hasn't done anything wrong. He's just running for president at that point. You know what I mean? Guys, I'm not buying that. That's what I say. I don't know if I could buy that one. That's what I would say. But here it is. It happened. It's happening now, right? This is the 2017 Watergate event. I would love for them to take down Obama on this. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? You gotta love Trump because he will go after anybody, anywhere, anytime, and he loves to tweet it. You're meeting with Russian nationals, and Sessions met with Russian national. Yeah, he's a senator at the time. What's the problem? And then Trump seems to have, from Zero Hedge, Trump seems to be having himself some fun Friday afternoon trolling Democratic congressional leaders on Twitter. Just a couple of hours ago, Chuck Schumer received Trump's first shot across the bow, and he's now turned his focus to Nancy Pelosi for having close ties to Russia and lying about it. I hereby demand a second investigation after Schumer or Pelosi for her close ties to Russia and lying about it. I hereby demand, that's what it says he tweets it and shows a picture, which I'll just show you. Let's take a look at this together. How about that? I hereby demand a second investigation after Schumer of Pelosi for her close ties to Russia and lying about it. And there she is, over here. You could never forget that face only a mother could love. And then you got Medvedev right here, some other Russian high-level people. Love it. Donald Trump, you are the man. Photo contradicts Pelosi's statement about not meeting Kislyak, which is one of their Russian counterparts or whatever. The Democratic House leader sat with Russian ambassador and other officials in 2010. This most recent tweet, Trump was apparently derived from was apparently derived from a political article posted earlier today, which revealed a picture of Pelosi in a meeting with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak, just after she had denied ever meeting him. Well, that's amazing. House Minority Leader Nancy, the witch, Pelosi, Democrat, of course, California, definitely, of course, said Friday that she's never met with the current Russian ambassador, Sergei Kislyak. Not with the Russian ambassador, no, Pelosi told Politico's Jake Sherman and Anna Palmer during a Playbook interview when asked if she'd ever met with the Russian envoy. But a file photo from Pelosi's 2010 meeting with Russian President Dmitry Medvedev shows Kislyak at the table across from Pelosi. Meanwhile, Pelosi's team scrambled to correct the record, saying that Nancy made a simple mistake, as most liberals constantly do, and meant that she had never had a solo meeting with him. Asked to square Pelosi's comments with the photo of the meeting, a spokesman said that Pelosi had simply meant she never had a solo meeting with him. Of course, that's what she meant, the spokesman, Drew Hamill, said. She has never had a private one-on-one with him. Probably because you couldn't pay another human being to be anywhere with you one-on-one in any close encounter of the third kind with this thing called Pelosi. And of course, just yesterday, Pelosi called for Sessions' resignation, saying anything less than the resignation or removal from office is unacceptable. I'll tell you what, Pelosi will make you a deal. Sessions will go if you step down and promise you won't ever run again. But you got to do it first. And then when she does it, I had my fingers were crossed behind my back. Just kidding. Sessions, stay there. Take care, buddy. You stay right where you are. So this is the kind of crap. When I said old 2017 is going to be just as, better than as far as excitement and the way things are going in the world, than 2016. And in 2016, I said it was going to be more powerful than 15 and 15, 14, because that was the trend. I wasn't kidding. From 2013, 14, 15, it just keeps getting better and better and better in that regard. Not better for you financially or your job or your taxes or anything that really matters, but better in this fighting left and right. And I was just telling, as you saw in probably my other video, I was talking with Bix Weir on Skype. We recorded that conversation. And I said, I remember an old Webbot report, that said there would be a time period in America where politicians would be dropping like flies, left and right, not dying, just quitting, resign, quit, fired, all of it, just scattering like cockroaches. Someone flipped the light on and, we're out. And I told him then, maybe it has to do with Pizzagate stuff or whatever it is. And they're realizing, okay, because you know how a politician may do something wrong, and there's always someone who wants that spot, or let's get rid of the Democrat, we put the Republican in, or let's get rid of the Republican, we put the Democrat in, let's go after him, right? And they'll make him a deal. Listen, step down and we won't go further with these charges. Because we have charges against you. We're going to nail you. All right. Today I'd like to make an announcement. I'm effectively stepping down. And then they go away, and then mysteriously no charges are filed. They just let them go. I think we might see some stuff like that. So you may not necessarily hear about it. Like, we're bringing charges on all these people. You may just see Donald Trump saying, listen, I'm going to make you all a deal. Because that's what I do. I'm a deal maker. Remember that? My campaign promise? I'm a deal maker. I'll make you all a deal. The deal is, I'm not going to have the Justice Department go after you. Because if they did, there could be the worst charges you've ever heard of. Some may get the death penalty. Some may get life in prison. Guys, you're going to step down, and you're not going to come back, and we won't file any charges against you. You'll go about your business, and you're left alone. And then all of a sudden, I'm stepping down. This one's Pelosi stepping down. All these people. That's what I think, anyways. That could possibly happen. Of course, I already talked about the other one. Trump accuses Obama of wiretapping Trump Tower. Of course, Obama was quick to, no, it's not happening. So that was it for now. I've just covering a couple of the smaller things. So yeah, just want to share that with you. Realize it's Sunday. Have a good rest of your day, whatever. And we'll be off to the races on Monday with more news, I'm sure. So take care. If I can find this thing to turn off. Here we go.